How you guys doing? Eric here. Today is Tuesday, January 9th, 2018, and another nice morning up here in Gilpin County. A little breeze blowing, but yeah, we've had a couple really warm days in a row now. I guess there's a supposedly snowstorm coming in tonight or tomorrow morning, and expecting like 4 to 8 inches of snow. We'll see what happens. It's been probably the warmest, driest, or the second warmest, driest winter that I remember in my 18 years of living up here. So yeah, I don't think it's natural what's going on with the weather, man. Obviously, I mean, I talk about this a lot, but yeah, I think I'm just going to talk about it today in this video because it's a big topic right now. This winter we're having, I mean, here we are, January 9th, and yesterday I saw a moth flying around outside my door. I turned on my light, the back porch light, and it attracted a moth. Now that's fucking unusual, man, to see any kind of insect activity up here in January is just unheard of, man. So yeah, it's definitely something's not right, man. But I understand the East Coast is like kind of having a terrible fucking cold snap right now, Arctic cold blast, and of course the Western U.S. is way above normal warmth, and yeah, it's just they're blaming it on climate change. You know, I heard that like recently the governor of California said that these new extreme fires that they're having in California are the new normal based on climate change, right? So they're just gonna have to get used to this new kind of fire that they're having. It's like the laws of physics have changed now because of climate change, and these new fires are just unheard of. They go right through fireproof materials. You know, it's just, yeah, the governor of California said it's the new normal because of climate change. What a bunch of bullshit, huh? It's their, like I always been saying, man, climate change is their fucking cover story for their fucking weather war that they're waging on the United States. It's been going on for a long time. I remember back in 2003, in March of 2003, we had a snowstorm up here. It started on St. Patrick's Day, and Frisch Peak, which is about a mile from here, had 93 inches of snow. And you know, nobody really thought much about it at the time. You know, it was just a freak, you know, like 100-year snowstorm, you know. But like 93 inches is like one of the highest fall, you know, accumulations ever recorded on Earth from one snowstorm, you know. So I think the record is like 96 inches or something, but it was really close to breaking a record for one snowstorm, you know. Like, and now looking back on it, I totally think that was a man-made storm, you know, weather manipulated storm. There was no way that could have been natural. Well, none of the weather is natural anymore. I'm gonna find out. But I remember like 5 or 6 years ago, there was that Joplin tornado, Joplin, Missouri, that just was like a mile wide and just destroyed the whole town, killed bunches of people. And yeah, that's when I first started looking into this whole weather modification, manipulation, fucking. And there was a guy who I used to watch called Dutch Sense. He's still around, but he mostly just talks about earthquakes now. But he used to be really into the harp rings, he called them. He would show on a weather radar map, there would be like a little ring. Oh, you fired. It'd be like this little ring, you know, it'd be like, and then like within 24 to 48 hours after we saw that ring on the radar, there would be a tornado that would go right into that ring. You know, obviously we saw quite a bit of it in 2017. As far as I'm concerned, the way that Hurricane Harvey stalled out over Texas, you know, that shit just don't, you know, they were telling us like a week before it happened, well, this hurricane is going to develop here in the Gulf of Mexico, and it's going to move into Texas, and it's going to stall out, and it's going to just sit there for like a week and drop 50 inches of rain. And so yeah, I think that was totally manipulated. And man, I just seen so much evidence that shows how they've been manipulating these storms and steering them, creating them, and then blame it on the population because it's our fault because we were born. So yeah, it's a big fucking scam to fucking kill us off, take us out of the rural areas, basically. Like California is another example. They're keeping them in a drought. The storms never go into California. They always go over California. And yeah, that's what they're doing with HAARP. And other technologies and frequencies they use to keep the storms from going into California, keeping them in a drought, and then keeping Alaska in the last few years has been way warmer than normal, and that's a lot of people are attributing that to the HAARP activity. And now they're using it, like I said, to keep the West warm and dry, and the East Coast is fucking freezing. It's just not normal. I mean, look at this. This looks like springtime in January. We should be in the coldest month of the year, and we usually have a good foot or two snowpack right here in January on an average winter. Bone fucking dry. I'm afraid they're gonna use this just like they did in California. Come through here with fucking laser weapons, flamethrowers, burn everybody's house to the ground. It's gonna happen sooner or later. I know it for a fact. I'm gonna try to, when it does happen, I'm gonna do what I gotta do to try to record it and document it, catch the fucking turds red-handed. You know, another neat thing for them about using weather as a weapon is if you figure it out and you call them out on it and you point it out, they'll just say you're crazy. You know, they'll use it as an excuse to fucking make you go get a mental health evaluation and possibly even lock you in a cage because you're crazy and you believe that humans could actually manipulate the weather. And then for sure they won't let you have a gun. So yeah, that's another interesting thing about it. It's called plausible deniability. Yep, dingo. It definitely looks like a snowstorm coming over the mountains. Looks like it might be snowing up there already.